A very big hello to my wonderful champions out there. Let's see if the video is finally live or not. Just give me a quick second. I think it's live, no? Yes, it's live. And hi Nagaraj, I hope you are doing well. My dear children, first of all, how is your exams going on? Is it good? Is it bad? What's the status? So we'll wait for some time until all the other people join. And my dear children, before going ahead, share it with your friends who have opted for biology, because this video is going to be really helpful for you guys. I have taken questions from the question bank and I'm going to solve, and not just random questions, questions that could most probably come in your examination. Okay? So others who are there, yes, 11 people are there now. Okay. So no one interested to say a hi? We'll wait for some time, okay? Hello Sakina, I hope you're good. Yes, now everyone is coming in form. We'll wait for one more quick minute and then we'll start off. Well, one very important thing, and that is you have to give a try. Before I give you the answer, you have to tell me, ma'am, the answer for this question is this one. Okay, good random stuff. Hi dear, hi Naina. Oh my god, thank you, so sweet of you. Mohan, thank you so much. Hi. Bhuvan, okay. Sakina, I'm great. Thank you for asking. So today I have a special thing for you. That is, I challenge you to solve the 40 most expected questions with me. So if you accept the challenge, first of all, hit on the like button and then put it down here that yes ma'am, I accept the challenge, and until 40 questions you are not gonna go anywhere. You have to be here itself, okay? And let me know how much you scored out of 40. Well, this is for, okay, well, this would be for two chapters, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants and also human reproduction. Apart from that, I'll try to pick up reproductive health as well. So I hope we are ready. Nagaraj is saying yes, I'm ready. So let's go. Okay, and my dear children, we have to make sure we are hitting all the 40 questions correct. If at all you're finding any difficulty, I'm here to help you out. Starting with the first question out there, that is, the following picture is an example for. This particular picture is an example for what? And here starts your challenge. So from 1 to 40 questions. The following picture is an example of multicarpillary apocarpus gynoecium, multicarpillary syncarpus gynoecium, multicarpillary gynoecium, apocarpus gynoecium. So Nagaraj says it's B, Nayana says it's A, Sakina says it's A. Okay, let's see who is winning. Alan is there. Hi Alan, says A. Hi Purvaj. B. Okay, so first of all, this particular picture is of what? It's of Papaver somniferum. This is the plant from where you get the drug heroin. Okay, now this particular plant would be having multiple carpels. That means there are so many different gynoecium out there. But all these gynoecium, my dear children, are fused together. They just have a single ovary. That means all the stigma and style are multiple out there, but there is only a single ovary. So you call this condition as, first of all, multicarpillary. Why? Because they have multiple carpels. And since they are fused, you call this syncarpus condition. So the answer for this question is B. And let me see who all got it correct. So Nagaraj is the only one, and Nayana also. Nayana also is the only one who got the answer correct. And from now on, I hope you get to, get to understand how the things work. Alan, I'm not a bio student, just here for knowledge. Oh my God, that's so sweet. That's so nice. Purvaj, good afternoon, dear. So are we ready to go ahead with the next question? Listen, my dear children, all these questions, try to solve it by yourselves, okay? Before I solve it, I'm telling you again. So one more example is given in your NCERT about Michelia. There is one more plant. In that also there are multiple carpels, but the carpels there are not fused. Whenever the carpels are not fused, what do you call this condition as? Here, when they are fused, you call this syncarpus. And when they are not fused, what do you call it? You call this, come on. You call this, I'm not gonna say. You're seeing it right over here. When the carpels are not fused, you call this. Yes, Purvaj, it's the first chapter. So no one is ready to say. You call this, yes, Alan, apocarpus condition. Okay, and that is found in Michelia. That question can also come. Right, Mohan, right, Manasa. Yes, everyone is now back in form. Second question, and here starts. Statement number 1. Formation of fruit without fertilization is called apomixis. This is statement number 1. In some species of Asteracean grasses, seeds are formed without fertilization. What is correct over here? Hi, Hitu. Is statement 1 correct? Is statement 2 correct? Or both of them are correct? So I am not going to tell the answer before you tell me the answer. That's for sure. And read the statements really carefully, otherwise you might mess it up, which I really don't want. Formation of fruit without fertilization, do you call it apomixis? Okay, Nagaraj says it's B. B is what? Both statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Okay. And D. Mohan Acharya says it's D. That is statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. Okay. Hitu says statement 1 is correct. Okay. So let me deep dive into this and tell you the answer. The answer is this one. Statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. You might think, why? Over here, formation of fruit without fertilization is known as apomixis. Wrong. Formation of seed without fertilization is known as apomixis. When you call about formation of fruit, it is known as Parthenocarpic, which is where you get the statement to be a wrong statement. Now the second statement is, in some species of Asteraceae and grasses, seeds are formed without fertilization. Yes, these are the examples for apomixis. Two examples that you definitely need to remember is what? Grasses and Asteraceae family. Both of them are examples of apomixis because here seeds are produced without what? Fertilization. So my dear children, this statement is correct. This statement is what? False. Okay, so who all got the answers correct? I think it's Mohan Acharya who got the answer correct. There's those of you who tried to attempt but didn't get your answers correct, it's totally fine. This is not your final examination. You are going on the right track. You are learning from your mistakes. Okay, now going ahead with the next question. Occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed is seen in. When do you see more than one embryo in a seed? By the way, those of you who are not subscribed to the channel would not be able to put down your answers in the chat box. So if at all you have not subscribed, subscribe to it right now. Then you will be able to put down the answers. Okay. So it's subscribers only mode that is active right now. So please hit on the subscribe button right away. So Manasa says it's C, Mohan says it's C. Okay, anyone to compete them, challenge them saying that it's wrong? Nagaraj also says it's C, Nayana C. Okay, let's see. So more than one embryo in a seed, that is kind of rare. Usually what happens, my dear children, in a seed you have one embryo. Suppose over here multiple embryos are there. You call this condition as polyembryony. Okay, you call this condition as polyembryony. And where do you see it? You see this in citrus fruits such as orange and things like that. Okay, so your answer would be C. So Manasa, Mohanacharya, Nagaraj, Nayana and hi Rashmi, all of you are doing absolutely correct. So my dear children, apomixis is different and a sub-part of apomixis is polyembryony. Apomixis is what? Formation of seed without fertilization. Now over here within the seed, if you have multiple embryos being formed, again without fertilization itself, or multiple embryos are being formed, you call this condition as polyembryony, and an example of that is citrus. Cool. Now going ahead, so this is the condition where multiple embryos are coming inside this particular thing, that is our seed. Fine. Which one of the following fruit is Parthenocarpic? Question number 4. Which one of the fruit is Parthenocarpic? Any guesses? So I see my dear children are all of them are really active telling the correct answers. So Nayana says B, Manasa says B, okay. What do you mean by Parthenocarpic, my dear children? Parthenocarpic means here the fruit is being formed without fertilization. So usually what happens, here is the ovary and inside that you have the ovule. When fertilization happens, ovule becomes the seed and the ovary becomes the fruit. Now suppose fertilization didn't happen. Still, the ovary is becoming fruit. This is magic, right? This is known as Parthenocarpy. And in this condition, since fertilization has not taken place, do you think seed would be there? No, seed is not going to be there. So these are going to be seedless varieties of fruits. Yes, let's see. Banana, Hitu is there saying, Alan is there saying B, Hitu, Nagaraj, Rashmi, all of you are saying B. So let's lock B. The answer is correct. You guys are doing so good. It is banana. Okay, that is an example of parthenocarpic fruits. Now going ahead, perisperm differs from endosperm in being what? Perisperms, yes Nagraj, yes, they are seedless. So my dear children, have you sent the link to all of your friends who have taken biology? If not, send it to them right now so that they can also take benefit of it and keep on answering the questions. That's all. So perisperm differs from endosperm in what? What is perisperm? So if at all you know, this is the ovary, this is the ovule, right? In the ovule, there are certain cells which are known as the cells of the nucellus. And here, inside that, you have the embryo sac where the female gamete is there. So here is a place where fertilization and everything happens. And usually the nucellus cells which are there, they just go off after nourishment. But sometimes they persist, sometimes they're just there. Why? Because they wish to nourish the growing embryo. They wish that one day embryo will be formed and I want to nourish it. That's why they still persist. So they are just like a normal cell. And in a normal cell, what is the ploidy of a normal cell, my dear children? Usually the normal cells are what? Diploid in nature. They are diploid in nature. What are haploid? Usually the gametes are the ones that are haploid. You are asked about endosperm over here. What is endosperm? Is it haploid, triploid, diploid? What is it? Alan says the answer is A. Okay. Nayana says the answer is A, and Nagra says is B, Manasa says is A. Okay. You are asked how this is different from endosperm. So this nucellus cells which are pertaining there, my dear children, they are going to become perisperm, and the ploidy of perisperm is going to be diploid in nature. Now we have to look for the endosperm. What is endosperm? So basically over here within the embryo sac, if you have seen, there are two polar nuclei, right? One male gamete comes and fuses with the egg cell, that is a female gamete, and another male gamete comes and fuses with the polar nuclei. So here the polar nuclei, each of them had haploid number of chromosomes. The male gamete also has haploid. So haploid plus haploid plus haploid. N plus N plus N is equals to what? 3N. Triploid. This is what? What is it forming? It is forming the endosperm. So endosperm is triploid, whereas perisperm is diploid. So your answer for this particular question would be what? A. Okay, always remember, perisperm is diploid, endosperm is triploid in nature. Now, hi Shifa, hi Sakina. Okay, so all of you who gave the answers to be A, it is correct. And now give me an example of plants where perisperm still persist. Can you give me an example of two plants where perisperm still persist? It's very, very important. It's there in your NCERT. And my dear children, it's not like you're just solving MCQs and going away. No, I'm pretty sure if you are there with me throughout the lecture, you are going to score really, really well in your 3-marker and 5-marker also. Because I'm making sure your concepts are really, really clear. So perisperm, yes Nayana, black pepper. So the hint for this is B square. You find in two plants. One is black pepper and the other one is beet. Yes Shifa, you're correct. So black pepper and beet is example of where perisperm still persists. Do not forget it. Beet answer spelling is like this. Okay? Yes Rashmi. Okay, the girl gang is going on really, really strong. What about the boy gang out there? I think the boys slept. The boys are not active now, so boys might have slept. In a monocot embryo, shoot apex and leaf primordia are enclosed in a hollow foliar structure called, what do you call this structure? This is a monocot embryo, okay, and the shoot apex and the leaf primordia are enclosed in some structure. So basically, if at all you have seen the structure of monocot embryo, you might know this answer, otherwise you might not know. So Nayana says it's B. I think Nayana is super ready for midterm examination, is going to score. Alan is a boy. Okay, Alan is the only boy who is very active in answering the questions. Now I hope it's correct, okay? So your answer is coleoptile, my dear children, and I'll tell you how you can remember it. So over here, coleoptile is at the top of plumule. Plumule is what? Going to be the shoot. So shoot means the stem and everything out there, right? So shoot apex is over here, my dear children. This plumule is going to give rise to the whole leaf and everything. Covering it, we have just one structure, and that is known as coleoptile. So coleoptile has a P and plumule has a P, which is why on the plumule you have coleoptile. Here, coleorhiza, radical is the one that gives rise to root, right? Radical has R and coleorhiza also has R. So in below the radical you have coleorhiza. You can remember it like that. Okay? Priyanka. we will definitely do a video for post PUC as well, okay, really soon. And all of you who said the answer is B, you are absolutely correct. Solve this question and I'll read out who all got the answers correct. So Naina got the answer correct, and Shifa got it answer correct, Rashmi, Sakina, Alan, all of you. Great, good going. Okay, in a fertilized embryo sac, the haploid, diploid and triploid structures are. In a fertilized embryo sac, fertilized, okay, not a plain embryo sac. In a plain embryo sac, almost all of them are haploid only. Antipodal cells are haploid, the synergids are haploid, the egg cell is haploid. The only cell which is not haploid is the central cell because it has two polar nuclei, N plus N, 2N, it is diploid. So over here, yes, oh my god, Alan, Shifa, Hitu is there, Nayana is there, Mohammed is there. Hi Mohammed, someone new. So you're saying the answer is A. Let's see the answer is A or not. Yes, exactly, you guys are correct. Answer is A. Why, my dear children? Haploid is synergid. So over here, synergids, all of them are NN as I told you. Except this cell, central cell, because it has two N, two polar nuclei, it will be diploid in nature. Now, after fertilization, right? So after fertilization, the egg cell which is there, which is haploid, it fuses with the male gamete, which is again haploid. So N plus N, it becomes what? 2N. This is going to form the zygote. It is not going to be remaining as egg, it forms a zygote. Zygote is diploid in nature. Now, if we're talking about primary endosperm nucleus, so over here, there are two male gametes that usually come. So, one male gamete comes over here, the second male gamete which is there, it fuses with the two polar nuclei or the central cell, my dear children, making it triploid in nature, and this whole structure which is going to be formed is known as primary endosperm cell. The nucleus is primary endosperm nucleus. So, your answer for this question is A, and you are absolutely correct. Okay, now question number 8. Double fertilization is what? Double fertilization is what? Manas, hello Mohammed. So Hitu, Shifa, Alan, Naina and Mohammed and Rashmi and Sakina and Mansa got the answers correct. Naina, I think, is leading the board out there, telling the answers really fast. Oh my god. Okay, everyone is now leading. So you all are saying the answer is D. Double fertilization is syngamy and triple fusion, is it? Yes, my dear children, the answer is this. Double fertilization means 2-time fertilization is happening. One time the egg cell and the male gamete fuses, this is known as syngamy. This had to happen. Triple fusion is when the two polar nuclei, okay, two polar nuclei fuses with what? The one male gamete, the second male gamete out there. So 2 plus 1, 3 nucleuses are fusing, so it is known as triple fusion. Okay, so your answer is D. All of you are absolutely correct. Now that was an easy question. Try to tell me the answer for this question. So Naina, Shifa, Mohammed, Hitu, Rashmi, Mansa, Alan, all of you are doing absolutely great. And those of you who are just watching the video and not replying to the answers, check questions out there. You are doing a big mistake. I'm telling you. When you try to give the questions, when you get it correct, when you get it wrong, and then little I tell you, it will make you remember even more better. Listen, I am not gonna see you, I do not know you, and there is no reason for being embarrassed over here. Every one of you are my friends, okay? So keep on answering, whether it be wrong or right. Okay, so one person has said the answer is D, rest all of you are saying it's C. Okay. So Hitu, Manasa, Rashmi, Alan, Nayana, Shifa, Sakina, all of you say the answer is C. Yes, my dear children. Wind pollination example is grasses, and apart from that, there is one more example, if at all you have read your NCERT, and that is corn cob. Okay, corn cob is also an example for this, do not forget. Wind pollination is one of the most common abiotic pollinating methods out there. Remember that as well. Okay, so those of you who got the answers correct, kudos to you. So here is the statement given in the NCERT, wind pollination is quite common in grasses. Now, next question, which is not a characteristic feature of wind pollinated flowers? Which is not a characteristic feature of the wind pollinated flowers out there? A, B, C, D. So let me read out the answer, those of you who got the correct answer. Mohammed did, Hitu did, Mansa did, Rashmi did, Alan did, Naina did, Sakina did, Shifa did, Hitu did. Okay, now you're going ahead with the next question. Hitu is now leading the board, okay? It's, okay. What is not a characteristic of wind pollinated flowers? Flowers are very colorful. Yes, obviously, wind cannot see anything. So there is no point of flowers being colorful, my dear children. So that is not a characteristic. This characteristic is of what? The flower pollinated, or not flower pollinated, oh my god, insect pollinated flowers out there. Okay? So rest all of the features are, and with that I want to remind you, this question is very, very important. What are the features of flowers pollinated by wind, water as well as insects? So please go through it. These are the three things. Feathery stigma should be there, presence of a single ovule and an ovary. Pollen grains should be what? Non-sticky as well. So hi Aditi. Chalo, do this question and I'll read out the answers, people who gave the correct answers. Hitu, kudos to you. Nayana, awesome. Muhammad, awesome. Rashmi, Alan, Sakina, Shifa, and Mansab, okay. Thank you for attempting. And Aditi, okay, gave me multiple choice instead, but still attempted, so really good, and then told me the correct answer as well. Awesome, awesome. So Muhammad is saying the answer is A. Statement 1 is, in Viola, both autogamy and gytenogamy is prevented. It's not happening. Autogamy means what? There is a flower. Here the male and the female part is there. From here to here, if it is going self-pollination, this is known as autogamy. Gytenogamy means there are two different flowers but on the same plant, and from here to here pollination is happening. This is known as gytenogamy. In Viola, it's saying both of them is not happening. Is it true or false? Is it true or false? My God. Everyone is saying A. So both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Can this be correct? So all of you are saying A, then you all are wrong here. Why? Because Viola, Commelina, Oxalis, there are three types of plants. Viola, Commelina, Oxalis. They have open flowers which are known as Chasmogamous flowers, and also closed flowers which are known as Clistogamous flowers. Now these closed flowers have both male and female part. So here definitely autogamy is happening. And the open flowers which are there, they will undergo what you call gytenogamy as well. So this is a wrong statement. How can it be prevented? Okay. Now next thing, gytenogamy is similar to autogamy since pollen grains come from the same plant. Yes, because genetically it will be similar, because both of the pollen grain and the egg is of the same plant. So genetically, even though it's cross-pollination, but it is not the true cross-pollination out there. So this statement is true and this statement is false. So your answer would be what? Your answer would be D. So why everyone thought it's A? Probably because you guys might have not read this particular statement properly, prevented. So the next time in examination hall, read it properly, take your time, and this is the structure of the plant. Remember, Clistogamous flowers are always towards the root of the rhizome region, and the Chasmogamous are to open region. Okay? Clisto, closed, CL, you can remember like that. Yes. Okay, now 12th question. Yes, Sakina. Yes, I got it. Now, dioecious plants are, try this. Dioecious plants are, and please be very cautious while attempting this. So let me see who all got the previous answer correct. It was Sanayana, Alan, Muhammad, Aditi, Hitu, and Shifa, and Manasa. And Sakina, thanks for acknowledging where we went wrong, right? Kudos. Chalo, do this question. Dioecious plants means what? Well, my dear children, 15 people are watching the video. If at all you're not able to answer, it's because you have not subscribed to the channel yet. Subscribe to the channel, my dear children, you would be able to answer. Okay? Shifa, okay. Muhammad C, Naina D. Okay, let's see what's the answer for this. What do you mean by dioecious plants? First of all, you should know that. Dioecious plants means there is a plant like this, there is another plant like this. This plant is having only the female flowers. Okay, and this plant, my dear children, would be having the male flowers. So it's a female plant, it is a male plant. The sexes are separate on two different plants. In that condition, I gave you a clue. Now you tell me the answer. Do you think autogamy can happen? Autogamy means self-pollination. From here, there should be both male and the female part. So that is definitely not happening. Gytenogamy, again, there should be different flower with male or female part, right? That is also not happening. So over here, the only thing that can happen is what? Yes. Now after the clue, I think almost all of you got the answer. The answer is what? D, xenogamous only. Xenogamous, cross-pollination. From here, when two different plants are involved in pollination, you call this cross-pollination. This is true cross-pollination, and this is how you bring out genetic variation, my dear children. So all of you, Nayana, Sakina, Hitu, Muhammad, Rashmi, and Aditi, and Alan and Mansa, you guys are going correct. So opposite of it is monoecious plant. Okay, listen my dear children, very important thing. Example of dioecious plant. Do you know any example of dioecious plant? Sahana, hi. Any example of dioecious plant, my dear children, that you profoundly remember? No? I'll tell you. Papaya. Please remember, okay, it's very, very important. When you study outbreeding devices, you say that unisexual flowers are being born. When unisexual flowers are there, then definitely it will do cross-pollination only, right? Yes, my dear children, remember it. All of you are doing really, really good, okay? I really admire you guys. So papaya is the thing. And now for monoecious means two sexes on the same plant. Two sexes on the same plant, my dear children. They can be unisexual flowers like this. For example, over here there is a female and over here there is a male. It can be a condition like this. This is monoecious because both male and female are there. Similarly, over here there can be a condition where both the sexes are in the same flower also. Okay? Fine? Don't forget. Okay. Now going ahead with the next question, so here, if at all you are asked, in monoecious plants, autogamy is prevented. Will it be true or false? In monoecious plants, autogamy is prevented. Will it be true or false? Or let me reframe the question. In monoecious plants, autogamy happens and geitonogamy does not happen. Is it true or false? I think that would be confusing. So later I will deal with that questions. We will come to that, okay? We will come to monoecious plants as well. So I will go ahead as of now because I don't want to confuse you guys. Okay, true. We'll come back to it, okay? Because it's kind of twisted question. So I want to give you a diagram and explain to you. So if at all we can, we will do it towards the end, okay? And Santosh, we will be bringing the important diagram of biology on Monday. Oh my God, on Monday. Next question. Even in the absence of pollinating agents, seed setting is assured in. Even in the absence of pollinating agents, that means pollinating agents are not needed. Still, seed will be formed. This is where? This is found where? So those of you are saying C, let me see. What is C? Commelina. Nayana says C, Rashmi says C, Mohammed says C, Manasa says C, Alan says C, Sahana also says C. Since all of you guys say C, I will also say C. Commelina is the answer. Commelina, Viola, Oxalis, all of them, they have clistogamous flowers, the closed flowers with both male and female part, which is why they do not need pollinating agents. Autogamy will definitely happen there. Short is the answer. Okay? Tuesday is my midterm examination, ma'am, for biology. I will do it before it, okay? Do not worry. I'll definitely do it. Now, identify the correct sequence of arrangement of cells in the mature embryo sac from the micropilar end. Now, those of you, Nayana says we have biology on Monday. Oh my God. Okay. Then we will plan accordingly, okay? So, identify the correct sequence of arrangement of cells in the mature embryo sac from the micropilar end. Can you try it out? Do you know how the structure is? So always remember the major things are towards the micropilar end, always. And the other end is known as chalazal end. So first thing that we have is synergids, the best friends of the egg cell. Egg cell is what? The female gamete out there. Then we have the central cell with two polar nuclei. Then we have the antipodals towards the chalazal end. So synergids first, then you have the egg cell, then the central cell, then the antipodals. Your answer is A. Let me see who also got it correct. So for me, Blue Lock is saying for me also Monday is the biology examination. Okay, we'll definitely do something for that, okay? Cool. Let's go ahead. I hope this is clear, my dear children. And I'll read out the names of those children who are getting your answers correct. Nayana, Mohammed, Sakina, Hitu, Alan, Rashmi, Manasa, Aditi. Superb. Okay, Shifa, we need to check it out once more. Check it out, okay? And Alina also got it correct. Hi, Alina. And Sakina says, ma'am, I have already passed my second PU last year and I'm preparing for NEET. Wishing you all the best and I hope we are helping you in some ways. Okay, chalo, do this question. From the statement given below, again you have to choose this properly, think about it and then only go ahead, okay? First statement says it is 8 nucleate and 7 celled at maturity. That means 8 nucleus are there but 7 cells are there. Okay, next thing, it is free nuclear during development. That means the nucleus divides first and then slowly the cell wall formation takes place. Okay, next, it is situated inside the integument but outside the nucellus. If at all you remember, my dear children, this is the ovule. The ovule feels very cold, which is why it wears two sweaters. Two integuments are there. Okay, now inside the ovule, what do you have? You have the embryo sac, and just over here you have the cells of the nucellus. Okay, you have the nucellus cell persisting out there. So this is nucellus cell, this is the embryo sac, and outside that you have the integument. So it is situated inside the integument. Okay, that is agreed. But outside the nucellus? No, it is inside the nucellus also. It's at the innermost position. So this statement is wrong. Now it has an egg apparatus situated at the chalazal end. My dear children, this thing that we studied, this thing, egg plus the synergids, all of it together, that is known as the egg apparatus. And always remember, the major things are at the major micropylar region, not the chalazal region. Okay? So your answer for this question is what? A and B. Both of them are correct. Rest all of them, my dear children, are wrong. And over here I have given you what you call an animated form so that you get to understand it better. So see what exactly happens. The one megaspore which is there, only one, because rest of the three they degenerate off, right? The one is there, the nucleus of it is going to undergo 3 mitotic division. This is again a very important question. 3 mitotic division. So one nucleus undergoes division into 2 nucleus, then this again divides, this again divides, 3 times division happens, and at the end you get 8 nucleuses. How many nucleus? 8 nucleus. And here free nuclear development. Do you see cell wall being formed? No. Later on, after 8 nucleuses are being formed, what happened? 3 of them go at the top and settle there. It is known as antipodal cells. 2 of them settle over here, they are known as synergid cells. 1 egg cell is over here, and 2 nuclei which is there, my dear children, it comes over here, and this cell is known as central cell. So if at all you count the number of cell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 cell is there, but how many nucleus? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nucleus. I hope it is clear now for those of you who it was not clear. My dear children, do you like studying with the animated form or not? Well, I have tried to do a little bit of animation here and there. Okay, chalo. Now question number 16. Function of filiform apparatus is 2. Tell me the answer for this and let me read out the name of the people who tried to attempt it. So Hitu, Mohammed, and then Manasa, Nayana, Aditi, Alina, all of you, Sahana, all of you try to attempt. I'm really, really proud. And Shifa also, how can I miss you? Okay, so all of it are absolutely correct. And now let's go. Animated form is good. Thank you so much, Alan. Okay, so the next question, everyone is getting the answers to be D. Is it D? So filiform apparatus helps in what? Recognize the suitable pollen at the stimulus, at the stigma, stimulate division of genital cell, produce nectar, guide the entry of pollen tube. This is the answer. It guides the entry of pollen tube. So over here, my dear children, in the synergids have finger-like projections like this. This is known as filiform apparatus. And they say that whenever pollen tube comes, hey, you go through here, then only you can meet the egg cell out there. So filiform apparatus guides the pollen tube. Do not forget it ever. Okay, Bhanu is here. That's someone new out there. Hi. So Bhanu has also given me the correct answer. Now going ahead with the next question, 17th. Which one of the following statement is not true, my dear children? Which of the following statement is not true? Tell me. Pollen grains of many species cause severe allergies. Stored pollen and liquid nitrogen can be used in crop breeding programs. Tapetum helps in dehiscence of anther. Exine of pollen grain is made up of sporopollenin. Is it correct? Prakur 3 is also there. Hi. Okay, 17th C. Nayana says C. Prakriti also says C. Mohammed says C. Manasa, Sakina, Hitu, Alina, Ellen, Sahana, everyone is saying C. So I'll lock C. I'm not even looking at it. I'm locking C. Well, yes, tapetum is going to help in. Tapetum is what? Is a wrong statement. Why? Because it is not going to help in the dehiscence of anther. Rather, it is there for nourishment of something that is known as the microspore mother cells. So this is a structure, my dear children. Always remember. You say ENT, right? Ear, nose, throat. Similarly, here we have EMT. Okay, epidermis, endothecium, then middle layer, and then tapetum. So tapetum is the most innermost layer, and it is there for nourishment of the microspore mother cells which are there over here. It is for the nourishment of that. Rest three layers which you see, they are helping in the dehiscence of anther. So when the anther wants to break open, these guys are going to help in that. Why do you think anther want to break open? Because the pollen grains are going to be made over here, and those has to be released. Okay, so tapetum is for nourishment. And can you tell me how many nucleuses does the tapetum have? How many nucleus does the tapetal cells have? Very, very important question. You should know the features of tapetal cells also. They have dense cytoplasm and they have what? Apart from dense cytoplasm, what do they have? Tapetal cells. Hello Navya. So Bhanu is also here. Yes. See, so your guys are saying C, the answer is C. And my question is different now. Listen to me carefully. What are the features of tapetal cells? There are two features. One is dense cytoplasm and Rashmi, yes. Mohammed, yes. It is binucleate in nature. There are two nucleuses. Because why? Nucleuses are two because karyokinesis took place. Nuclear division took place. But cytokinesis didn't take place. Cell didn't divide. Which is why there are two nucleus. Okay? Fine. Now, I had to tell one more thing. Yeah, this statement is also very important statement which you have to remember. Exine of the pollen grain. Pollen grain have layers. The outermost layer is known as exine and is made up of the most resistant material which is known as sporopollen. You put alkali, you put acid, you put anything, it will be just like that, which is why pollen grains can be stored in the form of fossils. And always remember, pollen grains can be stored in liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees Celsius. Remember this, minus 196 degrees Celsius, and they can be used further. For what? For the crop breeding programs. Okay? Chalo. Going ahead with the next question. Hi ma'am, you're so cute and sweet. Thank you so much. You all are very cute for me as well. Okay? So Muhammad, Rashmi and Naina who gave me the answer for the extra question, kudos to all of you. And apart from that, my dear children, Naina, Prakriti, Mohammed, Mansa, Sakina, Hitu, Alina, Alan, Sahana, Rashmi, Shifa, Bhanu, all of you doing great. Okay? Superb. Okay, so I hope you're answering the 18th question, my dear children. The most resistant organic material present on the exine, I just told you right now, it is what? Sporopollenin. Yes. Okay, so Mansa, Santosh, Gagana, Prakriti and Trishank. Was it Trishank? And Shifa, Pollen, Shifa, Pollen, I'm so sorry. Shifa, you're also correct. Okay, so sporopollen is the most resistant material. We had just discussed it. So over here, please look out at this particular structure. Again, very, very important thing. The outermost layer is known as exine. Exine is made up of sporopollen. And then there is inner layer which is known as intine. Do you know what is intine made up of? Any guesses? What is intine made up of? It is made up of C and P. C and P or PC. Priyanka Chopra, you can remember like that. But don't write it there, okay? C stands for cellulose. C stands for cellulose and P stands for pectin. Very, very important. Okay, intine is made up of CP or PC, whatever you want to PC. Okay, you can remember it like that also. Yes. Okay, 17th question, I'll just explain to you once again. Okay, just give me a second. And now over here, inside that also, do you have anything? Yes. The cell which is here, it will have its own plasma membrane. What is the cell? This is the vegetative cell. Vegetative cell. This is one big cell. And the feature of it, which you need to remember, is that it has dense cytoplasm and irregularly shaped nucleus. The nucleus is not properly shaped, it is irregularly shaped. And in that lies a small cell which is known as generative cell. G for gametes, because it is going to form the gametes later on. How? It is going to undergo mitotic division. So over here, this has an elongated nucleus. This is elongated nucleus, here it is irregular nucleus. Further it divides and it divides into two male gametes. Okay? Yes. Okay, now one very important question that I had to ask. How much percentage of plants, okay, of plants, my dear children, they release the pollen grains in 3 cell stage? How much percentage of them release the pollen grains? Did I tell the answer as well? Okay. Then the question is reversed. How much how much percentage of plants release the pollen grains in 2 cell stage? For 2 it is 60. For 3 it is 40. Okay, how do you remember it? How do you remember it? Over here you do ulta. Okay, 2 and 3. So 2 comes first, then comes 3. Over here you do ulta. 4 comes first and then comes 6. You can remember like that. 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay? Now, coming to the question which Navya was asking. Can you clear it up? So over here, in this question, which of the following is not true is being asked. Here, tapetum helps in dehiscence is being written. The answer is wrong because tapetum is not responsible for that. Tapetum is responsible for nourishment. Okay, so that is why this is a strong statement. Pollen grains of many species cause allergy. That is correct statement. The stored pollen grains, if at all you're storing in liquid nitrogen, it can be used in crop breeding program. That is also correct because that helps in the increasing the shelf life. Okay, and yes, someone told me some correct answer also. Where is that person? Cry. Okay, now going ahead. Exine of pollen grains is made up of spolnoporinin. We discussed that. That is also correct. So my dear children, all of you are doing absolutely great and I hope you remember all of this thing. Now going ahead with the 19th question out there. It's okay. You're most welcome, Navya. 19th question. Select the correct sequence of events in microsporogenesis. How does microsporogenesis take place? What is the correct sequence of events? I'm so sorry I didn't name out the people who gave the correct answer. Nayana, Hitu, Shifa, Sakina, Sahana, Prakriti, Bhanu, Muhammad. Everyone is saying A. Alina is also saying A. Santosh A. Gagana, hi dear. Navyashri, everyone is saying A, which is why I'll log this. This is the correct sequence and I'll show you again an animated video so that you not video, just a small thing. So in the sporogenous tissue, all the cells which are taking part in the sporogenous tissue, my dear children, they are what? They are microspore mother cell. All of them can form microspores. So first meiosis happens. Meiosis happens in 2 stages. The first meiosis, they get 2 cells. Again meiosis happens, you have 4 cells at the end. But you know what? These guys, when they are formed, they are very close to each other because they feel very cold. So they form microspore tetrad. You remember it like that? That means 4 of them are together. So this is what? Microspore tetrad. Later on, they move away from each other and that's how you get the pollen grains. Or first of all, you get the microspores. The microspores develops into what? Pollen grains. So your answer is this. Sporogenous tissue, then microspore mother cell, then microspore tetrad, and then microspores. Okay? Works? And all of them can form the pollen grains. Do you think in the case of female flowers, in megasporogenesis, do you think all the 4 of them can give rise to embryo sac? Yes or no? In megasporogenesis, do you think all the 4 megaspores which are forming, they give rise to the embryo sac or not? No, only one. Naina says it's only one. Mansa says also no. Blue Lock says no, great. Muhammad says yes. So basically only one is functional. You all are correct, okay? Alina, Gagna and Shifa, Rashmi, all of you. So what do you call this type of development? This is again an important question. What do you call this type of development? When only one is functional and this functional one is going to form the embryo sac. You call this as? Yes, Mansa. All of you correct. My dear children, you are so good. Monosporic development. Yes, Rashmi was the first one to tell that. So it is what? Monosporic development. Muhammad, Hitu. Okay. So my dear children, first thing that I want to tell to you guys is that you are doing absolutely great and you are going to rock the examination. Do not be worried about anything. Just have this consistency. Give your best. Okay? I'm really proud of all of you guys out there. So select the correct sequence of anther wall layers. We just discussed and I think it would help you now. EMT. EMT. Remember like that. Yes. B. Everyone is saying B. Starting from Shifa, we have got the answer to be B. Epidermis, endothecium, middle layer and tapetum. Yes. Epidermis always comes outside epi. Okay, it is outside and then endothecium and then middle layer and then tapetum. So these are the things that you had to tell, and here we are completing the 20 very important questions of this chapter, which is what? Which is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Okay, now we are going to see one very important thing, and that is what? That is this. KC90. So KC90 is a crash course that we are launching. It's aimed for 2 examination, that is KCET as well as Comet K. So I know the children who are of biology background might not write both of this examination not very frequently, but obviously you have many options in that if at all you're looking for nursing or the other courses out there, B Pharma also, so my dear children, or agriculture, okay, veterinary courses. So make sure you're going through this. It's going to be really helpful, and we are going to launch an online version of it as well if at all you're not interested in offline version. But If you feel that yes, I want to study in classroom, please contact this number or probably make a booking at this particular website. Link is given in the description box. So please do that and stay tuned for the online thing as well. Okay, now going ahead with the next thing. So over here, after we completed the chapter Sexual Reproduction Flowering Plants, I want to tell you these are the 5-marker questions that you should not be avoiding at all. First thing, the characteristics of flower pollinated by wind, insect and water. Go through it with the help of examples. In water, you have Vallisneria and Zoostera. So Vallisneria is a surface level and Zoostera is all sea grasses. They basically undergo pollination within the water itself. Okay, Alina ma'am, any fee? The fee would be given in the website itself, my dear children. Depends upon what all things are you gonna choose. Okay, so please look for the website. The link is given. Now, yes, the structure of megasporangium. That means this is a diagram-based question. You have to take the structure of the the ovule and everything out there. Now, ploidy of cells of the embryo sac, we just discussed about certain cells out there, okay, how are they diploid, haploid and things like that. And outbreeding devices, please go through all the outbreeding devices, okay, that is, what do you mean by outbreeding devices? The things that would not allow self-pollination to happen, okay, because when the plant does self-pollination, my dear children, it is the father, it is the mother only, okay, right? The features would be coming. Suppose there are some toxic traits out there. Suppose it is not allowing the plant to live in drought condition. Obviously the progeny plant will also die. So we don't want that features to go ahead. It causes inbreeding depression, which is why we have outbreeding devices. Some are plants, some are the things that plant itself makes. For example, genetic incompatibility. The pollen grain of the same plant comes on land, it won't allow to form the pollen tube out there. So that is one thing. Second thing is formation of unisexual flowers. Dioecious plants are examples for that. In monoecious plants producing unisexual flowers are also an example for that. Yes, Shifa. Discourage self-pollination and encourage cross-pollination. So all these points are really, really important. Go through it. The positioning, the anther can be here and the stigma can be here. So again, that can be a big problem out there. The synchrony of maturation. The anther can mature first. The stigma might mature later. So all this thing. Now, artificial hybridization, you know, the previous year a question came and that kind of, that was completely, okay, in this, shocked me because it was completely from one line of NCERT. So the question was the crop breeders, okay, the people who do crop breeding, they introduced a technique which was very useful for production of better qualities of plants out there. So naturally, when the whole syllabus comes, you have biotechnology, and that also there is plant. So you never imagine artificial hybridization to be the answer for that. But the answer was artificial hybridization. So you should know the steps of artificial hybridization, that is emasculation, okay, where you remove the stamen and then you do bagging and all of the steps. Very, very important. Okay, ma'am, MCQs, I'm going to that. Again, 3-marker questions. These are the important things. Please go through all of it really, really well. It is going to help you in gaining good amount of marks out there. Now, starting with the next chapter, and that is human reproduction. And now I hope you are in the streak of solving all the questions, right? And my dear children, have you clicked on the subscribe button, or do you think my teaching is nice? Am I worth of at least 1 like out there? If at all you think, do not forget to hit on the like button, okay, and share it with your friends. So signals for parturition originates from what? Both placenta as well as fully developed fetus. Placenta only, oxytocin released from the maternal pituitary, fully developed fetus only. What would you answer for this question? A. Nayana says A, Shifa says A, Mohammed says A, Gagana says A, Prakriti says A. Both placenta as well as fully developed fetus, the answer is yes. Both of them are going to help in the initial steps of parturition. I'll tell you how. So this is the baby and there will be placenta, my dear children. What exactly happens is that the baby releases a hormone that is known as androgen. It's a male sex hormone, but females also can release it, okay? So basically the baby would be releasing it and the placenta converts this estrogen into some other hormone. This androgen into some other hormone which is known as estrogen. And what does the estrogen do? They quickly go and tell the endometrium, this is the endometrium, okay. So just imagine there is endometrium, that is the innermost layer, and then there is myometrium, the second layer out there. They go to the myometrium and they make certain receptors very, very active. Myometrium is what? The muscular layer. It is what? The muscular layer. So to be short, listen to me carefully. The baby releases some hormones. Placenta converts these hormones into estrogen. Estrogen tells the myometrium to make certain receptors very, very active. So that is the role of placenta. Now what exactly happens is that over here the baby which is there, when it tries to move out, there are certain receptors over here in the cervix region. And these receptors, my dear children, they will send some neuronal signal, nervous signal. Okay, nervous signal to what? The maternal posterior pituitary, mother's pituitary gland. In pituitary, you have two lobes, posterior and anterior. The posterior one is the where it is going. Okay, so nervous signal is going to the maternal pituitary, and my dear children, the maternal pituitary is going to release a hormone which is known as oxytocin. Now, oxytocin will come and bind on these receptors which are there, and once it comes and binds on the receptors, what will happen? It will keep on contracting and relaxing, and the baby will be moving out. Again, when the baby moves out, the signal goes off. So it's a positive loop that is being created. Remember, this is the answer for explanation of what do you call explanation of parturition is a neuroendocrine mechanism. So you can explain starting from this particular point that the fetus, when it tries to move out, certain receptors get active. These receptors signals the maternal pituitary gland to release a hormone which is known as oxytocin. Here the signal is neuronal, but the thing that is being released is what? Hormone. Now this hormone comes and acts on the what do you call receptors of the myometrium, and that's how the whole process goes on. Okay, so please remember it like this. So your answer is both placenta and fully developed fetus, and this is known as fetal ejection reflex. Ma'am, poll on please. Baba, poll is not there over here. We'll definitely try to include it, okay? And Nayana, you said that I'm the best. Thank you so much, means a lot. Sir? Right on. Thank you. Okay, so during embryonic development, embryo's heart formed at the end of, embryo's heart forms at the end of, ma'am, why not, why C is not the answer? Let me see, okay. Oxytocin released from the maternal pituitary. So first thing, it is asking, signals of parturition originate from, my dear child. Where it's starting from? So first of all, the baby has to basically move over here down, and also have to release certain hormones, and these hormones have to tell has to be converted by placenta for making the receptors active over here. So first role is given to these guys, and then after doing all this thing, oxytocin is going to be released, which is why C is not the answer for the previous question. Okay, I hope Hitu I answered your question. Now over here, during embryonic development, embryo's heart is formed at the end of, everyone is saying C. Let me see. Mohammed says C, Shifa says C, Manasa, Hitu, Alina, Santosh, Rashmi, Navya, Prakriti, Abhishek. Hi, Abhishek. Okay. Gagana says C. Okay, everyone is saying, so which is why I'll say C also. So first thing, the heart is formed at the end of the first month itself, and please remember all the months are really, really important. If you listen to me carefully, I'll tell a trick that you can use for remembering it. Are we ready? First tell me we are ready, and then only I'll tell the trick. Otherwise I'll not tell. Okay, first tell me we are ready, and then we'll do. Okay, and obviously, ma'am, you're the best teacher in the world. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure you're lying, but thank you so much. Okay, ready, we are ready. So listen to me carefully, okay? This is a story that we need to remember. So over here, the first thing when someone dies, what we check? We check the pulse rate, the heart, whether it is there or not. Similarly, when someone is born, by the end of 1 month, we check whether the heart is beating or not. So by the first month, heartbeat is there. Now the second month, there will be hand and there will be digits. So there will be hand and digits by the, not hand, basically limbs. This is your forelimb, that is your hind limb, legs and hand, right? So limbs and digits are being formed. Now, by the end of 3rd month, my dear children, most of the organs would be formed, especially the external genital organs. That means whether it makes us understand whether the baby is male or the female. Okay, external genital organ is also developed out there by first 3 months. So what do you call this? By the end of 3 months, you call this as the first trimester. Okay, the first 3 months is known as the first trimester. Now, 4th month is skipped. Now, in the 5th month, one very cute thing happens. The baby says that, God, I have to move around and I have to, show off my hair and stuff like that, which is why I need some little hair. And I also, since I want to dance, I need movements also. So by the 5th month, there will be movement and there will be hair on the head. You can remember like that. There will be hair on the head. Now, by the 6th month, God says that, okay, you wanted hair on your head. No, I will give you hair on the body and your eyes and everything. So basically, hair on the body is there. Eyelashes are developed and the eyelids which are there, it is separated by the end of 6th month. 7th and 8th is skipped. 9th month it is said that baby is ready to be delivered. So this is the thing that you need to remember. Okay, so 5th month is something that is mostly being asked, okay, and the 1st month is also something that is being asked. So please remember it. Now questions which can come on the basis of this is month-wise data. Apart from this, always remember, in 1 month, how many weeks do you have? You have 4 weeks. So if at all the question is, what exactly happens after 12 weeks, what will be your answer? 12 weeks means what? 3 months. So in every month there are 4 weeks. So 3 into 4, my dear children, 12 weeks. So 12 weeks, at the end of 12 weeks, heart is formed, your organs are formed, limbs and digits are formed, external genital organ is formed. The second trimester comes over here by the 6th month. 6 months means 6 into 4, 24 weeks. Okay. So please do not forget it. I hope I have helped you in some ways. Now, when it is very safe to do MTP, medical termination of pregnancy, until 12 weeks. But until what time can it do it? You can do it until 24 weeks, but it is safe up to 12 weeks. You remember that also. Okay, I'll definitely move. You can take a screenshot. Cool? Ready? Chalo, we'll go ahead with the next thing. I hope you have taken the screenshot. Yes. Next question. Morula is a developmental stage. Tell me the answer for this question, my dear children. Before that, I'll tell the people who gave the correct answer previously. Mohammed, Shifa, Mansa, Hitu, Alina, Rashmi, Navya, Prakriti, Abhishek, and Gagana, Nayana, Prakriti, Pokemon, and Navya. All of you gave the correct answer, and thank you for telling that you are ready. Yes, it is very dangerous in 24 months. And thank you, Navya, again. Okay, so for this, I am getting mixed answers. Someone is saying A, someone is saying B. Chalo. Morula is a development stage between zygote and the blastocyst, between the blastocyst and gastrula, after the implantation, between the implantation and parturition. My dear children, the first thing that is formed when egg and the sperm comes together is known as zygote, right? The zygote is single cell structure. It's a single cell structure. Now, the single cell structure divides into 2, then into 4, and things like that. So zygote is single celled, and after that, when it becomes 8 cell structure, you call this as morula. What do you call this? You call this as morula. So morula contains almost 8 to 16 cells. We can say 8 to 16 cells might be there in the case of morula. And over here, it's still there in the fallopian tube itself. Now, because fertilization has happened there and the division also took place, it has formed the morula. Slowly it will divide more. It will be so many cells will be formed, and the cells will arrange themselves into outer trophoblast and inner cell mass. With a space cavity over here, this is known as blastocyst, and this whole structure is known as blastocyst structure. What do you call blastocyst stage of the embryonic development. So morula comes between the zygote and the blastocyst. Always remember that. And over here you have a picture from your NCERT as well. They have mentioned A, B, C, D, everything over here. So fertilization happens in the ampulla region, and then division happens. E is over here. Morula is formed over here. Then later blastocyst is something that gets implanted. My dear child Abhishek, chemistry class has been over, and there would be few more chemistry classes coming all the way, but not now. Okay, but there would be recorded videos. Definitely watch it out. Santosh, evolution chapter I have not included. In the next video, if you want, I can definitely include. Okay. How many questions? 23 are done. We have few more. 40 questions is my target. How many cells make a morula? Almost 8 to 16 cells, my dear child. Okay, 8 to 16 cells is something that makes up the morula. Please remember about the blastocyst stage as well. Very, very important. Okay, in blastocyst stage, the outermost cell which is there, it is known as trophoblast. This is a part of embryo itself, and this is known as inner cell mass. But you know, what actually forms the embryo later on is the inner cell mass, which helps in the formation of embryo. Trophoblast is going to pair up with the mother's tissue and form the placenta later on. Okay, remember that as well. Now going ahead with this question, please tell me the answer for 24th question out there. Which of the following hormone is not secreted by human placenta? Which of the following hormone is not secreted by human placenta? Hitu says it's D. Okay, Rashmi D, Mohammed D, Shifa D. Why? Okay, LH. Okay, sorry. Pokemon says D, Ellen says D, Manasa, Alina, Santosh, Manasa. Okay, Nayana, Gagana, Abhishek. Everyone is saying D, which is why I log D. Always remember, placenta releases only 4 hormones: HCG, HPL, Okay, proestrogen and estrogen. So this and this is usually been released by ovary, but once placenta is there, it takes up that job. Okay, it also releases these three things. So along with it, there we have HPL. Please remember that. Luteinizing hormone is something released by the pituitary gland. What pituitary? Posterior or anterior? Any guesses? Posterior or anterior pituitary releases LH, luteinizing hormone. Let me see who all remembers things. Posterior, yeah, posterior prakritiya. Anterior pituitary. Okay, Rashmi says anterior, someone says posterior. I'll give it to you. I'm really happy you are trying out. I do not care if you're trying out wrong way also. If you remember what I told, the correct answer that I told, it's more than enough for me. It's the anterior pituitary, okay? It's the anterior pituitary that releases LH and FSH. Posterior pituitary releases oxytocin in parturition, okay? Now, I hope that's clear. Chalo, 25th question. The hormone is secreted by ovary in the later phase of pregnancy. So ovary, my dear children, it's in your NCERT, there is no much role of ovary in pregnancy because placenta takes over everything, right? But in actual case, it's there. But anyways, ovary plays a very important role towards the later phase of pregnancy when the baby has to move out. What is it? A, B, C, D, what is your answer for this question? Yeah, Pokemon, Rashmi, Manasa, Alina, Sahana, my dear Prakriti, Alan, Mohammed, Gagana, Shifa, Naina, everyone says the correct answer. It is what? Relaxin. Ovary says that, hey, relax. Why? Because if at all the ligaments are not relaxing, the baby would not be able to move out, which is why relaxin is very much important. So please remember, okay? Chalo. So you can remember later, every time later phase of pregnancy. So R is there, R for relaxin. Okay, and it is released by ovary. Ovary also has an R in it, so you'll never forget it. R, R, R. Okay, chalo. Now, the secondary oocyte after ovulation is covered by a non-cellular layer of. So, this non-cellular layer is also known as jelly-like layer. Secondary oocyte after ovulation is covered by a non-cellular layer of what? My dear children who are not able to comment down, I'm telling again, if at all you have not subscribed to the channel, you might not be able to comment. So make sure you're subscribing. Okay? Yes, zona pellucida. Yes, 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 yes. You are absolutely correct, my dear children. So secondary oocyte which is there, it forms its own layer around it, and that is known as zona pellucida. Remember, it is non-cellular, it is acellular, no cells are there, it's a jelly-like thing. And around it, you have corona radiata that is not released by secondary oocyte, it's by the granulosa cells. It's made by the granulosa cells. So zona pellucida is the answer for this question. You all are doing absolutely great. Crazy. Okay, so this is the jelly coat is what? The zona pellucida out there. Okay, next. Match the items given in column 1 with those in column 2 and select the correct option given below. Now this is regarding your menstrual cycle, and I'm pretty sure not everyone would be able to remember it. Let's see. Let's see if 11 people are able to tell the answer for this question. 11, that is a target. Okay, out of 15, at least 11 people should get me the answer correct. Chalo. Match the items given in column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option. Proliferative phase is also known as what phase? Okay, let's see. So from Pokemon, I'll start to, what do you call, count, right? So Pokemon says C, Hitu says C, Sahana says C, Shifa says C, 4 people, and then 3 people, 7 people. 7 people are saying 3. Anyone else? 11 people we want for making this answer correct. 12. Okay, 30. Oh my God. So it's more than 11 only. It's all of you are answering the question. So basically, my dear children, it's C option. Why is C, ma'am? So over here, you always have to remember thing. First phase that comes is menstrual phase, and menstrual phase is where breakdown of endometrial lining happens. The endometrial lining goes off. There will be bleeding in the case of human beings. So C goes with 1. C goes with 1. I just have 2 questions like that. So I can eliminate B and D option. Because it's the most easiest way to find the answer. Now proliferative phase. It is also known as follicular phase. Because when the follicles are developing, the follicles which are developing, my dear children, they release estrogen. And you know what does estrogen do? Estrogen makes the menstrual, the endometrium that has just fallen down, it regenerates it, slowly regenerates it, which is why it is known as proliferative phase as well. Follicular phase, why? Because proliferation is happening. Okay, follicular phase, why? Because follicles are being generating, and proliferative because the follicles which are there, the granular cells which are there, they release estrogen, and that forms up the the endometrium lining up there. Next is secretory phase. Secretory phase is also known as luteal phase. Why? Because, my dear children, the follicles are developing. Once it is developed fully, it forms the graphene follicle. The graphene follicle ruptures, it releases the secondary oocyte, and whatever is left behind is known as corpus luteum, and that is the hero of luteal cycle. So corpus luteum, my dear children, is going to release some very important thing which is known as progesterone, okay, or proestrogen. Along with estrogen, progesterone also teams up, and now the endometrium lining is even more thicker, and the endometrium starts to secrete some very important thing, which is why it is known as secretory phase as well. So your answer for this question would be this. Okay? Fine. Alan says, this will help me understand my wife. Definitely. That's a very thoughtful thing. Okay, that's cute as well. Okay, my dear children, so these are the phases that you need to remember. Please remember it fully. So first is menstrual phase. Remember, from 1 to 5 days. Here it is written 1 to 7 days. That would be the maximum. But mostly it is 1 to 5 days where menstruation would be happening. And after that, there will be follicular phase, which is also known as proliferative phase, because the endometrium slowly regenerates, but only with the help of estrogen. Then ovulation happens on the 14th or the 15th day. So suppose a 28-day cycle, in the half midway, my dear children, what will happen? Ovulation would be happening, and after that you have the corpus luteum, which will be releasing progesterone. So estrogen and progesterone makes up the endometrium lining really, really strong. Okay, done? Cool. Now let's go ahead with the next question. When does the second meiotic division occur in the secondary oocyte? Any guesses? So where did all the children go? Oh my God. So now I have not explained. If at all you are running away like this, then to my side, okay? When does the second meiotic division occur in the secondary oocyte? At the time of birth, at the time of fertilization, at the time of puberty, at the time of ovulation. So I get A, B, C answer. So C is there, B is there, okay. What would be the correct answer for this? Second meiotic division means secondary oocyte is there. It has to undergo division to form one ovum and the second polar body. Second polar body would not be of any use. The ovum will be there. The ovum has to fuse with the what? The sperm out there. So when does this happen? At the time of fertilization. Not at the time of birth, not at the time of puberty, not at the time of ovulation. When fertilization, when the sperm comes, okay, and comes and goes towards the zona pellucida, my dear children, slowly, and reaches the plasma membrane of the secondary oocyte, that's when certain changes happen and it finally divides into ovum. So you can remember at the time of fertilization. This would be your answer for this particular question. Okay? So here is the thing. Always remember, this is the thing that we are asked about, and that is occurred. I didn't understand, ma'am. Okay, I'll tell. Listen. Here, secondary oocyte is something that is being released during ovulation. So during ovulation, inside the follicle, you have the secondary oocyte. It had not completed its division. It's still stuck. It's not able to complete the meiosis too. Okay, it is stuck in one particular phase. So it's being stuck and it is being released also. When the sperm comes and attaches on the zona pellucida layer of the secondary oocyte, and then it goes inside. It goes inside to fuse with the plasma membrane of the secondary oocyte, my dear children. Now the secondary oocyte will finally would be able to divide into two things. One is the ovum and the other one would be the second polar body. This ovum is there and the sperm has already reached. Both the nucleus will be fusing to form the zygote. I hope that's clear. My dear children, still not understanding? So meiosis starts to happen when we are in the inside the womb of the mother itself, my dear children. Meiosis starts to happen, but then we get stuck. The primary oocyte gets stuck, and then later when we reach puberty, that's when we are about to reach puberty, when we reach the puberty, that's when the meiosis is finally completed, and then secondary oocyte and everything would be forming up. Okay, so please remember like that. So your answer for this question would be B. Ma'am, oogenesis explanation. So those of you who needs oogenesis explanation, give me a thumbs up. Let me see, there are a lot of people, then I'll explain it right now. If there are not many of you, I'll explain it towards the end. Okay. One person says yes, ma'am. Okay. Yes, and then Prakriti, yes, exactly, and then it continues at puberty. Fine, only one person is saying yes, so okay, fine. I'll quickly explain, listen to me very carefully, okay? So what exactly happens is that there are so many oogonium inside the fetal, okay? Suppose it's a fetus, I was the fetus. So inside the ovary, there would be so many oogonia, and this oogonia will increase its number first. So that is done with the help of mitosis. It increases its number, and then later differentiation happens. Okay, that means the oogonia which are there, they are going to differentiate, they are going to have some structural changes within them, which is why they form the primary oocyte. There is no division happening, there is only some differentiation. Differentiation means they are getting mature. Okay, they mature to form the primary oocyte. Now the primary oocyte, until here we are all 46 number of chromosomes, it's all diploid. Remember that, it's diploid. Now primary oocyte, it will undergo meiosis, and meiosis happens in two stages. It is going to undergo meiosis, but you know what happens? It gets stuck. Okay, it gets stuck at prophase 1 itself, so over here it's stuck. Later on, when we reach puberty, okay, when we hit puberty, my dear children, again there will be hormones, this and that, which is why the meiosis would be finally complete, and you will get secondary oocyte. Under the influence of the hormones, what will happen? The secondary oocyte will be forming. Along with secondary oocyte, there is one more cell over here being formed, and that is known as the first polar body. So instead of forming two secondary oocytes, one cell is rudimentary, which is known as the first polar body, and the other one is known as the secondary oocyte. The secondary oocyte which is there, again, it also wants to undergo meiosis, then only it can form the ovum, but again it gets stuck, and it is going to be released in this stage itself. Later, when the sperm will be coming, at that particular point, it will finally undergo meiosis too, and it will form the second polar body and the ovum. Second polar body will degenerate, the ovum which is there, it will fuse with the sperm. So that's how usually things happen. And you have to remember the theca layer, inner theca, interna, externa, all this thing, tertiary follicle, primary follicle, all of it. Well, my dear children, I have made video on it. So you can go and type human reproduction, one shot video in our channel, you will be able to find it. Okay? Cool, I think the basic explanation is being done. I hope you have understood it to some extent. Yeah? Now going ahead to question number 29, the corpus luteum secretes large amount of progesterone, which is essential for the maintenance of. Alan, understood. Thank you, dear. The corpus luteum secretes large amount of progesterone, which is essential for the maintenance of. Okay. Rashmi says endometrium. What about others? Alan says C. Alina says C. My dear children, keep on answering. Do you remember the challenge? Challenge was to solve 40 questions, and we are now on the 29. 10 more questions. Come on. Secretes large amount of progesterone, which is essential for the maintenance of what? Endometrium. So always remember, estrogen is the first thing that tries to help regenerate the endometrium. Now, along with the estrogen, progesterone also pairs up. Where do you get progesterone from? From the corpus luteum. Okay, the corpus luteum produces progesterone and also little amount of estrogen. Both of them will now make it really, really strong. Okay? Fine. Prakriti, okay, do you want it right now? I can give it right now. Just a second. Yes, this was the match the following. I hope this is the one that you're talking about. Alina, I'll stay till the end. Thank you so much. And I hope it's done. I'll go ahead. Where are we, my dear children? Okay. Next question. Identify the incorrect pair with respect to menstrual cycle. Can you all tell me the incorrect pair with respect to menstrual cycle? So this again you will be only able to answer if at all you know the menstrual cycle really, really well. Gaming. Ashi is there. Someone new out there, right? Hello. Okay, he or she, I don't know, says B. The answer is B. Is it B? you're about to find the incorrect pair, my dear children. So formation of corpus luteum occurs from the 15th to 28th day. Yes. So on the 15th, the ovulation happens, suppose. After that, after ovulation, the ovum is being, secondary oocyte is being released. Whatever is left behind forms the corpus luteum. Right? The corpus luteum will be there from the 15th to 28th day. It will go in between, but anyways, it's there. Now secretion of progesterone, 15 to 28 day. Yes, because the corpus luteum is the thing that will be secreting the progesterone itself. So that is also going to be there. So that is also going to be correct. You are asked about what is incorrect. You are asked about what is incorrect. Please note. Okay. Next thing, regeneration of endometrium, 5th to 13th day. Do you think? Yes, from the 1st to 5th day it goes off. Then it comes again. Okay, until 13th day, endometrium is going to complete, what do you call, reform, not in a very high intensity, in a very low intensity, but it happens. So regeneration also happens, this is also correct. Now the D1 which is there, it is what? Disintegration of endometrium, 5th to 13th day. That is wrong. From 5th to 13th day, I told you it is going to reform. Until now it was falling down, now it is reforming. So your answer for this question would be D. Okay, it would be D. This is incorrect. It's okay, don't be sorry, it's totally fine. It's totally fine, you are learning and that's the best part of the story. Okay? Chalo. So let me see who all got your answers correct and you try to solve this question. Okay? So, we start from Kumuda. Kumuda is here. Hi Kumuda. And Mohammed and Gaming, Manasa, Shifa, Pokemon. Disintegration means breaking down of endometrium. Okay? So all of you others got it correct. Kudos to you guys. You are awesome. Okay, 31st question, let's see. Well, after the end of this, if at all you want me to explain the menstrual cycle in few seconds, I can do it, but only after the end of it, okay? So, Shifa says the answer is A for this question. Let me see. Gonadotropin releasing hormone is the hypothalamic hormone which stimulates pituitary gland to secrete what? LH and FSH. We know the answer, right? Luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. It's a simple question. So yes, A is the answer for this, and which is why I won't waste much of my time over here. We will go ahead and do the next question. And before when you solve that, let me tell the name of the people who got the correct answers. Shifa, Manasa, Hitu, Alina, Pokemon, Mohammed, Kumuda, Rashmi, Alan. Blue Lock, why are you retracting the message, my dear children? And then Gagana, Prakriti, awesome, awesome, awesome. Gagana, check Madi the answer once more, okay? I don't know what question number you are solving, so which is why I can't be sure of saying a big no there. But you check. 32, C. So everyone is almost saying C, 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 C. Which among the following has 23 chromosomes? So say 23 chromosomes, the answer is secondary oocyte. Again, the story is very simple. First of all, you have the spermatogonia. I think have the picture. Yes. So spermatogonia is there. Spermatogonia undergoes mitosis. It forms so many cells. Okay. Forms one or two cell out there. One cell out of it, my dear children, will undergo differentiation, again undergo maturation to form the primary spermatocyte. Same story. Again here also diploid number of cells. The primary spermatocyte, but this time undergoes meiosis fast. There is no blockage here. It undergoes meiosis, you get two cells. But you know what? Since meiosis have been underwent, it will be half n number of chromosomes will be there. Only haploid secondary spermatocytes are going to be formed. The secondary spermatocytes which are going to be formed, they undergo meiosis too. Again forming what? The round spermatids. So at the end you get spermatids. The spermatids are like small kids. The small kids know they are immature. They do not know what to do, right? So small kids are there. We want to make it mature. So what do? We do a process which is known as spermiogenesis. So after spermiogenesis, the spermatids convert into spermatozoa. Okay, it converts into spermatozoa, and that is a final thing. Now the spermatozoa which is there, it will move out of the body. Okay, and it is known as, not out of the body, oh my god, I'm so sorry. It will move out to the seminiferous tubule, and that is known as spermiation, aviation, you can remember like that. So the whole process of spermatogenesis is mentioned over here. Secondary spermatocyte is from where you get the haploid number of things. So over here, the one that is having 23 is half the number of chromosome, because the total number is 46. Half of 46 is 23, and that is found in secondary oocyte. Okay. Ma'am, are you solving? Do this question, okay, and I'll come back to you guys. Ma'am, are you solving human health and diseases chapters MCQ? Not here, not this time, but I have done it. You can refer to it if at all you are someone who is having the exam on Monday. If at all you are not having exam on Monday, I'll cover it up on Monday. Okay? Okay. Fine. So, my dear children, solve it. 33rd question. Mansa says B, Alina says B, Mohammed says B, Alan says D, Kumunda says B. Okay. You have multiple choice questions for me also, right? So, what is the correct sequence of sperm formation? Spermatogonia first. After spermatogonia, spermatocytes. After spermatocytes, kids are there. So, spermatids, and then after that, you have spermatozoa. This is your answer. B is your answer. Yes, definitely, definitely, Shifa, I would be doing that. So, I would be having a live on Monday as well as Tuesday. Okay, so on Tuesday's live, I'm going to complete everything out there. But yes, you can join on Monday as well. Okay, then on Tuesday, you can study by your own. Fine, fine, fine. So, my dear children, all of you are doing great. While I read out the name of the people who got it correct, do the next question. So, Manasa, Alina, Mohammed, Alan, Kumuda, Pokemon, Shifa, Prakriti, Hitu, and then Gagana, and then, okay, I'll not confused, it's totally fine, and Shifa, thank you. So, all of you guys, my dear children, are doing great. Some people are there very consistent over here. From the first point onwards, I'm seeing them. I'm so happy to be teaching you guys over here. Even though it's online, I'm really happy, and I'll never forget your names. Okay, so the next live, if at all you're there, we'll see up there, okay? And do you know my name by any chance? Okay, so that is again an MCQ question I'll give you to guess my name, okay? Until then, please solve this question. The process of transformation of spermatids into sperm is known as, or spermatozoa is known as spermiogenesis. We just discussed, okay? It is spermiogenesis. Oh my God. Yes. JJ ma'am, Jasmine Joy ma'am. Okay, so people definitely know my name. Thank you so much for remembering it, and definitely, as I said, I'll remember all of your name. Okay? So cute of you guys. So my dear children, the answer is C, and some of you got it correct. Some of you have messed it with A option. It's not A, okay? It's C. When do you say it's A? Spermation is when these spermatozoa which are being formed, they move out of the seminiferous tubule. That is when you call it spermiation. You can remember it with aviation. Okay? So your answer for this question is C. Now the next question. Chalo, let's be serious, okay? Now try to solve this question, everyone. Seriously, try to solve this question. So to produce 2000 sperms, we have to produce 2000 sperms and 400 ova. How many spermatogonia and oogonia are required? How many spermatogonia and oogonia are required to produce 2000 sperms and 400 ova? Everyone try to solve it. Kumada says is B, Manasa says is B. Gaming Ashi says is C, okay. Alan says is C, okay. So I have B and C options. Someone has said it's D. Okay. So it's high time to get into this and explain you. Listen, a rough estimation, okay. Let's think. One spermatogonia, it forms the primary spermatocyte, and later it forms 4 sperms at the end. So from 1, you get how many sperms? You get 4 sperms. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here how many do you have to make? 2000. So 2000, if you divide by 4, it will come out to be 500 oogonia. Okay, 500, sorry, not 500 spermatogonia, not oogonia, spermatogonia. Now in the case of oogonia, if you have seen, my dear children, the oogonia which is there, it will form the primary oocyte and everything, secondary oocyte, but only one cell is getting divided because it forms the first polar body, second polar body. So at the end, you just get 1 ovum. Only 1 ovum. So if at all you are having 400 ova at the end, that means you had what? 400 oogonia also there. So your answer for this question is going to be B. It is not D, it is not C, it is nothing else. It is just B. These type of questions can come, so make sure you remember it. And this is the difference. So from 1, you get 4, but over here from 1, you get only 1. So number of ovum remains to be the same. Did you like solving these type of questions? Now this is again a very important question that most of us get wrong. So look at this question carefully and try to solve it while I read out the names for those children who have given me the answer. So the answer was B for that question, right? And it was Manasa, Kumuda, Alina, Pokemon, Shifa, Gagana, Muhammad, Alan who gave me the correct answers. Kudos to all of you, and those of you who got it wrong, kudos to you as well, because you have learned something. So, if FSH hormone is not secreted from the anterior pituitary gland, which stage is affected? A. Formation of primary spermatocyte. Okay. What about others? Any other guesses that you have? In spermatogenesis, if FSH hormone is not secreted from the anterior pituitary gland, which stage is affected? Kumda says it's C. Muhammad says it's D. Children, you're giving me MCQ questions, huh? So the answer for this question, if I say it's B, what will be your reaction? There is no one who has said, Alina has said B. Kudos, kudos. Good, 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 good. So why is it B? Listen, this is very important and you need to remember it. The gonadotropin releasing hormone is released by the hypothalamus. Okay, the hypothalamus, which is there in the brain, it releases gonadotropin releasing hormones. Now it goes and acts on the anterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary releases two things. One is LH and the other one is FSH. LH acts on the Leydig cells. Where do you find the Leydig cells? My dear children, in the testis. Okay, in the testis, you have testicular lobules. Inside the lobules, you have seminiferous tubule. Suppose this is seminiferous tubule. And this one is the another seminiferous tubule. In between these seminiferous tubules, you have certain cells which are known as Leydig cells. And inside this, you have another two type of cell. One is your Sertoli cell. Okay, and the other thing which is there is what? Is the spermato, what do you call, the male germ cells. Okay, both of them. So the Leydig cells which are there, they are being acted upon by LH. And now what are they going to release? When the Leydig cells are being acted upon by LH, L for Leydig, L for LH, they release the male sex hormones which are known as androgens, such as testosterone and things like that. And here what is happening? Sertoli cells is there, right? The FSH which is being released, it acts on the Sertoli cells. Why? Because the Sertoli cells is now going to release some very important factors. Why do you think these factors are very important? Because, my dear children, you know what happens? That is, the testosterone which has come over here for the process of spermatogenesis, no? They wish to go around somewhere else. They don't wish to be staying here. So, when the Sertoli cells releases some factors, the factor says the testosterone to stay here itself, so that the whole process of spermatogenesis undergoes very smoothly. Especially the last process, which is known as spermiogenesis, where what happens? The spermatids which was there, it was getting transformed into spermatozoa. Especially this one, especially this particular last stage which is there. Which is why we say, if at all FSH is not there, that means there is no one to act on the Sertoli cells. If Sertoli cells, there is no one to act on the Sertoli cells, what will happen? There won't be anyone to produce certain factors which will stop the testosterone and tell it to stay there only for help of, for the production of what? Spermatozoa. So the answer for this question would be B. Prakriti, do you want me to repeat? Or it's okay? When is physics live? Physics live was yesterday, but you would have a recording of all the things. Please make sure you watch it, okay? Is it clear? Or yes, Prakriti says it's clear. All my dear children, I hope it's clear as well. Always remember, in spermatogenesis, if FSH is not there, the last step, spermiogenesis is affected. Spermiogenesis means what? Formation of spermatozoa. Ma'am, can you repeat? Okay. You want me to repeat? I'll repeat it once more. Listen to me carefully. So my dear children, I am raising all this thing and I am going to tell you this thing. So here, spermatogenesis is happening. Where is it happening? Inside the seminiferous tubules, all of it is happening. Okay? And inside the seminiferous tubules, you have Sertoli cell also. So what exactly happened? Outside it, you have Leydig cell. LH comes, acts on the Leydig cells, and the Leydig cells is going to produce testosterone, or basically the male sex hormone. This testosterone which is there, it is going to go inside the seminiferous tubule and help in the process of spermatogenesis. But testosterone gets bored. It does not want to stay here only, and it is about to go anywhere else. So basically, my dear children, we don't want that to happen. We want it here itself. So now comes the role of FSH. FSH acts on Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells releases some very important factors which tells the testosterone to stay here itself until the whole process of spermatogenesis is what? Over. To be in good quantity. Okay, to be in good quantity here itself. Especially testosterone is needed towards the ending of spermatogenesis. Okay, where what is happening? Where the little spermatids which are round in structure, the immature ones, are converting into the mature spermatozoa, especially at this particular stage. So if at all FSH is not there, Sertoli cells are not going to release factors, and this process is not going to happen up smoothly. So this is going to happen formation of spermatozoa. Is it clear to you now, Prakriti and the other children? So the other children, if it's clear to you, let me know. If it's not clear, again let me know. If at all you're liking this video, what do you have to do? Click on the like button. Okay, click on the subscribe button. Okay, yes ma'am. So now it's clear, which is why we will go ahead with the next question out there. That is, seminal plasma in human males is rich in. Yes, someone clicked on the like button. Can we make it 50 this time? Somehow. So next time when you bring in your, when you come, bring in your friends as well, okay? Ma'am, what is KC90? So KC90 is a crash course we are launching where we are going to help you in preparation of your KCET as well as Comet K. And when we say we are going to help you in preparation of KCET, we are going to make sure you are going to score full on full in your boards as well. So this was launched to be offline, but since children requested to make it online as well, we have both online as well as offline version of it. The link is given in the description box. Go to the website and check it out. Okay? Now over here, seminal plasma is in human males is rich in what? Fructose and calcium. A is your answer. And yes, you all are correct. I'll read out your names, but before that, let me explain. So there are three glands: seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and bulbourethral gland. Seminal vesicle releases fructose, not glucose, nothing else. Just fructose. Why? Because it wants to give the sperms enough amount of energy. Okay, now the next thing, prostate gland says that I want to release some calcium and enzymes. Why? Because it wants to make sure the sperm are going ahead and going to do fertilization properly. For that you need calcium as well as certain very important enzymes for the movement also. Bulbourethral glands just lubricates the penis so that the sperms can move very easily. So these are the three things, and when all of them they secrete thing, it is known as seminal plasma. The secretion together is known as seminal plasma. Seminal plasma when along with sperm is known as semen. Okay, so your answer for this question is fructose and calcium. When is online? How much is the cost of KC90? For that you would have to go to the website and click on the courses that you would need. Okay, so there are so many options out there. If you check it out, you'll get to know. Ma'am, can you move a bit? Yes, definitely. Shifa, when is online, ma'am? We are launching it today. You have to come. Okay, there will be live at 6, sharp at 6, you can come there. Okay, let's go ahead. Next. So, question number 38. Try it out. The cells that secrete testicular hormones. Very easy question. Alina says, ma'am, this channel is a gem. I don't understand why is it so underrated. Hats off to all of the teachers. Hats off to you guys. And my dear children, if you feel it's underrated, you would have to share it with your friends as well. Tell that. Study from us. And my dear children, it's not like you would have to definitely study from us just because I'm telling you to do so, but not because of that. It's genuinely because we are some people out here who work really hard to bring out your best. Okay, and we have done that the previous year. You can trust us. It's a new channel. It was born the previous year, and this channel we are here and with only because of you guys. So keep on doing that. Okay, so though everyone is saying the answer is B, answer is Leydig cell, is it? The cells that secrete testicular hormones are known as Leydig cells. Yes. Okay. androgens, testosterone is an example for it. Going ahead with the next question out there. So over here, as I told you, this is the Sertoli cells, which is there for nourishment of spermatogonia. Spermatogon is the one that forms the sperm, and in between them you have the space, interstitial space, where you have the Leydig cells, which are going to secrete what? The sex hormones out there. Okay? Going ahead. So Prakriti, Kumuda, Manasa, Alina, Gagana, Pokemon, Shifa, all of you doing great. Okay? Now, the vas deferens receives ducts from the seminal vesicle and opens into urethra as. 39th question. Try it out, my dear children. The vas deferens receives duct from the seminal vesicle and opens into urethra as what? So over here, always remember, suppose this is the testis out there. You have the testicular lobules, right? From here, the sperm starts to travel, and the first spot is rated testis. Okay, first spot is rated testis, and then it tries to move out, it tries to exit with the help of what? Vasa efferentia, E for exit. And then it forms a loop over here. It's known as epididymis, and then it moves up and goes in the form of vas deferens. This vas deferens, my dear children, suppose it goes and coils around the urinary bladder. This vas deferens is going to receive something from the seminal vesicle, the first gland. Together both of them are going to form the ejaculatory duct, and the ejaculatory duct is going to open into the urethra. Okay, it is going to open into the urethra. So your answer for this question would be what? Ejaculatory duct. B is the answer. It's not A, it's B. The vas deferens receives duct from seminal vesicle here and opens into urethra. How? With the help of ejaculatory duct. B is the answer, okay? So over here, see the picture. It's given in your NCERT. So vas deferens comes, seminal vesicle is over here. Both of them are going to open into ejaculatory duct, and the ejaculatory duct is going to open into urethra. Please remember. Yeah, ma'am, I meant, okay. Then you're correct. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. So don't be scared of telling the answers from next point onwards, okay? I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Now, question number 40, try to do it. Yes, it's 39th question. And the 40th question is right over here. Try to answer it. Scrotum helps in maintaining the temperature of testis, which is A, lower than the normal body temperature. Before that, let me acknowledge the people who are trying to answer. Okay, Alina, Mansa, Gagana, Pokemon, Kumuda, Alan, Hitu, Prakriti, all of you doing absolutely great, okay? 40, the answer is D. Prakriti was the first person to answer it. Pokemon, the second, okay. So, scrotum helps in maintaining the temperature of testis, which is 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower. Okay, first of all, 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower. Why? Because if at all testis is there within the body itself, my dear children, the sperm formation would not be taking place. It needs a lesser temperature. Now, how many compartments are there in each testis? 250 compartments are there. 250 compartments are there. Now, what is the length of the testis, my dear children? So, this is where most of you got your answers wrong, and I could see that. So, don't retract your answer, okay? Do not retract your answer. I do not want you to do that. Listen to me carefully. You are asked about the length, not the width, okay? Width is 2 to 3 and length is 4 to 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5, you can remember like that. So your answer is what? 4 to 5. Here you are asked about the length, right? We are not asked about the width. So your answer would be B. Yes, Hitu, you are absolutely correct. So my dear children, so few things that you might have learned from your mistakes is that don't jump to conclusions. Read your options carefully. Okay? Now, before going ahead, I hope this is clear. So 2, 3, 4, 5, don't forget it. And over here, you have some important questions of this particular chapter. For 5 marker, you please try to form the diagrams of these 3 things. Have schematic representation of spermatogenesis, role of hormones in the menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle is very, very important. Go through it properly. And parturition is induced by complex neuroendocrine mechanism. I have explained you that. Hormones during pregnancy, the placental hormones, ovarian hormones. What are the hormones which increases several folds in the blood? Do you know the answer for that? There are certain hormones which are regularly there in our body, but during pregnancy it increases in several folds. Any guesses what is the answer for that question? Something that increases in several folds. It's there but increases in several folds. Oxytocin. Prakriti. No, Baba. Don't break my heart. Think. Oxytocin happens during parturition. That is there. Okay, but during pregnancy, during the gestation, prolactin, yes. And then, it's okay, it's okay. Okay, prolactin and then, come on children, you have to remember the MCQ question again. Can come here, from here. Prolactin, thyroxin, 3 hormones are there. One more. The person who says the name of the third hormone wins a chocolate from me when you see me in real, if at all that happens. Thyroxin, one more. Prolactin, thyroxin, one more hormone is there given in your NCERT. You need to know their names because you all are going to attempt some big exams later on. Cortisol. So Pokemon, Ayan, you are going to get the chocolate if at all we are meeting in real, okay? So, where is it? So your answer for this question is cortisol. So these 3 things also increases in several folds in our blood during pregnancy. Please remember, it's not just the placental hormones and things like that. Okay, so now there's a 41st question, but it's upon you because I challenged you to do the 40 questions. The 41st question, 10 more questions are there, that is of reproductive health. If you want me to cover it up now, I will cover it up. If you don't want me to cover it up, I'll stop it right now, keeping my promise. But I'm really happy to see people accepting the challenge and being until this particular point. So should I continue with the 41st question? Hitu has started giving the answer. 10 more questions are there. I'll complete the whole live before 5:30 because I have to go at 5:30. Yes, ma'am, let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Kudos. Now my dear children are in full form. Okay, very easy question, starting question. Decreased MMR, that means maternal mortality rate, and IMR, infant mortality rate, decrease. That means both of them are dying less. Mothers as well as infants are dying less. But there is increased people in reproducible age. That means children, people who can reproduce later are there in increased number. So this will lead to what? Mothers and infants are safe, they are not dying. There are people more in the reproducible age. This will lead to what? Increase in growth rate, decrease in growth rate, no significant change in growth rate, stable growth rate. What's your answer for this question? It's A, increase in growth rate, because everyone is there, only the mothers, infants, and the people of reproducible age. People of reproducible age, when they grow up, my dear, they will reproduce. If at all in the question it was that decreased people of reproducible age, then we would have considered something. Okay? So over here, your answer would be A. Next question. This is very important. Amniocentesis is a medical procedure where some of the amniotic fluid of the developing fetus is drawn to analyze the fetal cells and dissolved substances. It was banned in India in order to stop female feticide. Which of the following highlight the importance of amniocentesis despite the ban? So even though it's banned, it's very important procedure. Why do you think it's important? And what is amniocentesis? So my dear children, the babies which are there, they are inside a sac which is known as amniotic sac. Amniotic sac. And you know what? Here you have a fluid which is known as amniotic fluid. So the baby's certain cells, they shed off, and it is found in the amniotic fluid. These cells, if you examine them, you get to know about their genetics, the DNA, how it is and everything out there. So it is used for what? It was actually used for, yes, Prakriti, correct. It is used for determining the genetic disorders out there. Okay, and along with genetic disorder, you also get to know the sex of the child. But people thought of the other method, find the sex of the child, and used to kill the child if it was a female, which is a very bad thing, which is why it was banned. Okay, so amniocentesis, actually it is used for this, so which is why your answer would be D. Because of backward culture, we lost the good things. Yes. So, yes, sometimes it definitely happens. We have other method to find the genetic disorders. Now, the other question that can come from this concept is that what are the diseases that you can find through amniocentesis? Remember, if at all in your option, you have things like this: Klinefelter syndrome, Turner syndrome, Down syndrome, and jaundice. What is the disease that you cannot find out? What is a disease that you cannot find out with the help of amniocentesis? What would be your answer for this question then? Yeah. What would be your answer for this question then? If at all, Klinefelter's, Turner syndrome, Down syndrome, jaundice is given. 4 options are given. What is a disease that you cannot find out with the help of amniocentesis? It is jaundice, because jaundice is not a genetic disorder, right? So this is the odd one out. So you have to look for the genetic disorder and think like that. Okay? So these type of question, if it comes, think of me and give the correct answer. Question number 43. Statement 1. Lactational amenorrhea is the absence of menstruation during intense lactation. Statement 2. This is highly reliable method of contraception. Tell me the answer for this question. Those of you who read your NCERT properly will be able to answer this, and let me read out the name of the children who gave the answers. Okay, so Rashmi, Alan, Pokemon, Alina, Prakriti, Mansa, Kumuda, Pokemon, Kumuda, Hitu, Alina, Alan, all of you, Mansa, Blue Lock, going great, going great. And my dear children, you all said let's continue. That's a good thing. Alina, Kumuda, Mansa, Blue Lock, thank you so much for letting me continue it. Okay, so for this thing, 43, the answer is B, is C. For some people it's B, some people it's C. Mostly it's C. So, what is B? Let's see that. Both statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Why would you say so? Lactational amenorrhea is the absence of menstruation during intense lactation. It is correct. During lactation, at least during the first few months of lactation, during the 6 months, the mothers usually would not menstruate. Okay, why? Because there is a hormone, prolactin hormone, which does not allow the FSH and LH to be secreted. And if FSH, LH is not there, ovulation and everything would not be happening. So, which is why this is correct. But statement 2, this is highly reliable method of contraception. Can you rely it completely? This is not true. So, which is why C is the correct answer. Statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is what? Incorrect. This is not a highly reliable method. It's a risky method, because for some it can happen, for some it won't. I meant C. It's okay. I forgive you. Okay, now go ahead with the next question, 44. Right. I have seen way too many low age gap siblings to know 2 is incorrect. True that. Okay. So, Hitu, Alina, Alan, Rashmi, Blue Lock, Shifa, Manasa and Prakriti, all of you, my dear children, you got it correct. And now let's go ahead with the next question. 44th question. Now only 6 more questions would be there. Come on, do it. IUDs are ideal contraceptives for females who want to delay pregnancy or space children. Is it ideal contraceptive? IUD means intrauterine devices. That means something that you put inside the uterus, such as hormone releasing IUDs, okay, or copper releasing IUD or non-medicated IUDs. So they are therefore delaying, they are what do you call ideal contraceptives. And second thing is that they are mostly widely accepted. Is this statement true or false? Both of them. So I see most of you guys saying A. That means both statement 1 and 2 are correct. And one person has said the answer is C. Statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. Well, it is A only. Why? Because both the statements are correct. Remember, in your NCERT, there are 2 methods which are widely accepted. One is IUD, intrauterine devices, and second one is your oral pill. The 2 of them are widely accepted. Okay. So your answer for this question would be both statements are correct. Okay. So those of you who got it wrong, it's totally fine. For those of you who got it correct, kudos. Okay, all of you, kudos. So Mansa, Prakriti, Alina, Hitu, Alan, Kumuda, Lulok, Rashmi, everyone, kudos. Next thing, oral contraceptive pills may contain what? Try this. Oral contraceptive pills contain what? This is also widely accepted method. And what does it contain? Estrogen, luteinizing hormone, progesterone, and estrogen, and all the other things out there. B. Okay, Hitu says B, Alina says B, Rashmi says B, Prakriti also says B, Alan says B, Kumida says B. Yes, it is B. So usually in our body, progesterone and estrogen are really important for everything to happen, for the baby to be formed completely, taken care of completely, right? But then if at all their amount is increased, they do the opposite of what they were doing. They would not allow ovulation to happen. They would make the endometrium lining really thin, such that the implantation would not be happening. They would make the cervix region very, very, difficult to get into because of the mucus which is being formed. So 3 things. They don't allow ovulation to happen, the implantation would not be happening because of a very thin endometrium, and then cervical mucus will be there. Okay, so these 3 things are there. So that is the role of oral contraceptive pills. Remember, these 2 hormones are very important. They are there in emergency contraceptive also. So whenever a person, for example, has to prevent pregnancy, so within 72 hours of coitus, whether it be a rape or a normal coitus, my dear children, would be given oral pills or IUDs, specifically hormone releasing IUDs, not all of them, hormone releasing IUDs, because hormone releasing IUDs also have this. Okay, so either oral pills or hormone releasing IUDs, anything are given for emergency contraceptive. Fine. So let's go ahead with 46th question. And all of you gave me the correct answer, starting from Hitu, Alina, Rashmi, and Alan, Kumuda, Mansa. Kudos to all of you guys. I am really, really happy seeing your commitment to solving questions out here. I'm really proud of you. I'm telling you again and again, but I mean it. Okay, select the incorrect statement regarding vasectomy. Vasectomy means you're going to cut the vas difference. Vas difference is being cut. So what will happen? No sperms in the seminal fluid. Yeah, that's correct. There won't be any sperm in the seminal fluid. It's a surgical method for contraception. That is also correct. Vas differentia is cut and tied. Yes, that is also correct. No spermatogenesis. Do you think spermatogenesis is not going to happen? Wrong. Spermatogenesis is going to happen. The sperms are being formed, but they won't be able to move up towards the ejaculatory duct and things like that. So this is the wrong statement. Sperms are still being produced. So this is wrong. Similarly, in the other thing, vasectomy and tubectomy. In the case of females, when tubes are being cut and tied, do you think menstruation is not going to happen? Menstruation is still going to happen. Why? Because the hormones are released and it's totally dependent upon the hormones. So please understand that menstruation would be happening in them, and here spermatogenesis is also going to happen. So your answer is D. Okay. Next question. Which of the following are not completely curable? These are STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. These are not curable. So completely curable. Okay, Alan, Manasa, and Prakriti, Hitu, Kumuda, Alina, all of you got your answer correct. In tubectomy, you're going to cut the fallopian tube and you tie it up. Okay, so ovum will still be released, but it will come until that point of fallopian tube where it's being cut. It cannot move forward, right? So sperm and ovum cannot meet anywhere. Okay, can you try this question? Okay, you're saying D is the answer? Yes, the answer is D. Why is it D? Because they are not completely curable, and how you can remember is that all of it has H in it. Hepatitis B, genital herpes, and HIV infection. All of them are not going to be completely curable. Please remember it. Don't forget. Okay, so here all of you got the correct answer. No one is here who said the wrong answer. 48th question, my dear children. A specialized procedure to form an embryo in the laboratory is known as, in the lab, if you're making an embryo out there, not a baby, an embryo out there, what do you call this? Gamete intrafallopian transfer, intracytoplasmic sperm injection, artificial insemination, intrauterine insemination. Rashmi, if detected in the early stage, can be curable, right? It is, depending on the disease. For example, HIV is not curable, but obviously the, the intensity of it can be reduced with the help of some antiretroviral drugs out there. Okay, so they won't be transmittable. That is there. Okay, there are so many drugs that is coming that will allow people to have the disease but not to transmit it to others. So yeah, that's all there, but it would be there throughout the life. So a specialized procedure to form an embryo in the laboratory is known as AAA, and then AA. AA, who said A? Alina C, Kumuda B, Rashmi, thank you. So my dear children, here you are going to form an embryo within the laboratory. Gamete intrafallopian transfer is just you are taking the gamete and you are transferring it to the fallopian tube. There is no formation of gamete for embryo over here. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Remember, sometimes you have to use your common sense. We might not know things, but if you think, the name is very clear. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection. That means inside the cytoplasm of something you are injecting the sperm. Probably an egg, right? Inside the cytoplasm of the egg, you are injecting a sperm. Obviously, in this case, egg and sperm comes together, you get zygote. The zygote later forms the embryo. So your answer would be this. Artificial insemination is basically where you are taking the sperms and artificially putting inside the female body. It's not happening in the lab, it's happening inside the female body. Intrauterine insemination, again, it's a type of artificial insemination where you're particularly putting it inside the uterus, not in the cervix or vagina, but within the uterus itself. So all of it does not satisfy. Here it is the thing. B. Okay? Answer is B, and I see Kumuda is the only... okay, Kumuda retried, but yes, she retried correctly. So your answer is B, my dear children. Okay? I hope you got it. Children, did we get it? Do you understand it? Will we do this question? Will we make this question wrong again? I hope not. Okay, now we go ahead with the next question, 49th one. Out of the options given below, choose the correct stage for transfer to the fallopian tube for successful IVF results. Now, out of the options given below, choose the correct stage for transfer of the transfer to the fallopian tube for successful IVF results. Fallopian tube. Here you have to be sure you're reading this. Embryo up to 8 blastomeres is what most of you are saying. Someone has said 16 blastomeres. Well, the answer is just A. Up to 8 blastomeres, you can either put a zygote or you can put an embryo up to 8 blastomeres into the fallopian tube, but beyond that you cannot. Beyond that, if at all you're putting, it has to be inside the uterus. Okay, beyond that, if at all you're putting, it has to be inside the uterus, and that is known as intrauterine transfer. This is known as ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. It's just not zygote, it can be an embryo also, but up to 8 blastomeres. Because in the fallopian tube, if you're putting something more than that, there are chances that ectopic pregnancy can occur. That means the baby which is there, it can form in the fallopian tube itself, and it will be risky for the mother as well as the child. Okay? So that is the thing that usually happens. I hope it's clear. Prakriti had a doubt, and I hope I cleared it up. Okay, that is known as ectopic pregnancy. Remember that term. Ectopic pregnancy. Remember the number as well. Okay, last question, which is for you to solve. It's not for me to solve, and you don't have to tell it over here. You have to put it in the comment section of this live chat, not the live chat happening over here. Close it up and put it down the comment section over here. What is the answer for this question? This is a question based on principles of inheritance and variation. A plant having the genotype capital A small a, capital B small b will produce dash kind of gametes. These are the options given, and try it out and let me know. Okay? As soon as possible. That's the, that's your homework for today. And my dear children, if at all you have not, I hope this is taken, please take a screenshot of it, if at all you want. Okay, if at all you want, and I'll move ahead. So as I said, in the comment section, you have to put down the comment, because I would, there might be some people who are watching it afterwards as well. I would want to see if at all you're giving the correct answers or not. And tell me the formula also which you have used. So if at all you have not subscribed to the channel yet after watching the video, make sure you're subscribing, and do not forget to hit on the like button. Is there any doubts that you want me to solve as of now related to whatever I have taught? If at all there is anything that you want to ask me, you can ask it right away. Okay, apart from the homework questions answer. Okay, and as I said, do not forget to hit on the subscribe button, and the next live I'll be coming on Monday at 4 p.m. is what I remember. Yes, at 4 p.m. so we can see out there. Okay? So shall we end the live if everything is cool? Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks to you, Alina, and thanks to each and every one of you who came over here, attended the live. I hope you have studied something. You have something in your head now, right? That you have taken from this session. So thanks a lot, and I'm really super proud of you guys, and I remember your names. If at all you have any doubts, put it down in the comment section of any video out there. I'll definitely watch it. Okay, I'll definitely take your comment on priority and let you know the answers as well. So thank you so much. I'll go now, and wishing you all the best. Give your best. There are some videos that I've already taken for one shots as well as the questions. So there was one shot and then questions of this chapter. You can search it up. It's there in the midterm session, okay, playlist. It will be really helpful for you guys. So that's all. Wishing you all the best. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you so much, Alan and Kumuda, Annalena and Rashmi. Bye bye. Take care.